morning, guys. Hi. Good morning, Large White Farm Dogs. Good to see you guys. Hi.
How's it going, sweetheart? Hi, Toby Dog. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi. Good dogs. All right, let's go. Come on. We got chores to do. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
It's got a soul, this hero farm. It falls asleep inside my arms. We work the fields under the stars. The love is here at Gold Shop Farms. Well, city life, yeah, it had its charms, but we would dream of the fields under the stars. I fall asleep inside its arms. The love is here at Gold Shop Farms. The love is here at Gold Shop Farms.
How is everybody doing tonight? It is good to be here with you.
Morning,
for
guys.
Yet another
Hi.
farm meeting. I'm Morgan. I'm here at Gold Shop Farm, hanging out tonight. I'll be taking your questions, giving you some updates on stuff going on around the farm, talking about some stuff going on in life, and yeah, just hanging with you guys for a little bit. Lil Barn Cat, if you guys are wondering, she is actually downstairs. She's hanging out with Allison by the fire. It is hard to pry Lil away from the fireplace. And so, yeah, she might end up joining us though in a little bit. I am here with a nice mug of tea though, in this lovely bear mug that I have. And I can see all of you guys are coming in here with all sorts of questions going. Hey, what's going on, RJ? Good to see you. Yeah, RJ was actually asking earlier tonight about here in Peacham, we do like an annual winter event called the Winter Carnival, and that's going to be February 14th and 15th. I'll be actually there on the 15th, hosting like games, and I'm going to be doing snow art with the kids, so it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, hey Diane, good to see you. How are you doing? How is this a fundraiser? Okay, all right, let me explain this because I think sometimes people wonder about it. So yeah, sometimes I do like full on big time fundraisers. But one of the things that YouTube does that I don't necessarily love is they have like these things called super chats where you can don't pay money to the person who's live streaming. And I don't know, that's not the reason why I do this. And so I'd rather just kind of hang out with you guys and not have that going on. But what I can do instead is I like just figure out some sort of charity that I'll direct money to. And like tonight it's actually Peacham Community Housing, which is an organization I'm actually on the board of here in Peacham, where what we do is try to support like community activities and housing support. We actually run the local like 50 plus apartments that are here, and we're working on building some more actually affordable housing apartments in the center of town. And so it's a cause that I like to support. And so if you like want to donate to it, go for it. No pressure to though. Not at all. This is just simply meant as, I don't want it to go into my pocket. I'd rather have it go somewhere else. So yeah. Hey, Jonathan, good to see you. Boozer D, what's going on? Good to see you, D. Sorry, the timing. Yeah, I know it's always a little tricky for folks, but I appreciate you stopping by, D. Hey, Sue in Manchester, Connecticut. Hey, actually, you guys, Manchester, Connecticut it's not exactly my hometown, but it's kind of my hometown. It's where I went to high school and spent a lot of time hanging out as a kid. So yes, know Manchester very, very well, Sue. Actually curious where in Manchester you are. Hey, what's up, Ginger Stream? Good to see you. You know what, Ginger Stream? I have not been watching the WWE on Netflix. When I was a kid, I used to love wrestling. Like, I guess back then it was the WWF. But yeah, I'm not a huge wrestling guy these days. I don't know. It just doesn't quite do it for me. Every once in a while, this is actually really geeky. He'd probably be mad at me, but I won't use his name. I have a really, really close friend. One of my best friends in the world has been like a friend of mine since I was like 9-10 years old. He will sometimes come up here and hang out at the farm for a weekend, and like we'll usually do it at a time like when Allison's away, and like we'll just hang out, and one of the things we might do is actually watch like an old WrestleMania, which is kind of funny. Hey, Lady Rorschach, good to see you. What's going on? Oh, you have a question too. I have areas that need to be cleared of brush. My initial thought is to get 3 weathers, but now I ponder if So, yeah, I mean, if you want to try to send pictures, I might miss it, but I guess just kind of answer your question conceptually. I don't know. I mean, I still haven't had a ton of experience working with the goats to clear brush. But I will attest to the fact that pigs can easily clear that stuff out. And so I don't know. I actually my based on my limited experience with goats as well as my experience with pigs, my answer to your question would be go with the animal that you like better and like working with better. And I mean, I personally just in the 6 months or so that we've had the goats, I really like our goats a lot. And I thought I was going to be a goat hater, but I am not. I love those goats. And so I will be using the goats to clear brush on our farm this spring and summer and fall, and not pigs, because I mean, as you guys have, I've talked about this in lots of videos, I'm not a huge pig guy. That's all there's. And I don't hate the pigs. I mean, and I'll have pigs again at some point. I won't have pigs this year, but I think I personally am finding that I prefer the goats over the pigs. Hey, Danny from Wicked Awesome Gardening is one of our mods here tonight, and yeah, Danny's wicked and awesome, so check her out. And oh, by the way, Danny, I saw on Facebook how you mentioned you just kind of that milestone. Kudos, congratulations to you. That's really awesome. Yeah, so like RJ said, the winter carnival will be here at Peacham February 14th, the evening. There's like this contra dance at the town gym, and then on the 15th is like when all the carnival activities are. There's like I said, I'm going to be doing snow art and games with kids. Alfred isn't going to be doing the tractor wagon again this year. We had some insurance problems with that, but he will be doing something we like to call the Ikitarod. And I think there's also going to be sled dog racing, because I think we have enough snow for that. And what else is going to be? Sugar on snow, which is like a delicacy if you've never had it. It's like drizzling maple syrup on snow and then eating it with a pickle. I don't even know why, but it actually does taste delicious. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Pirate Jenish? Good to see you. Debbie Piper Lily, good to see you. I always love hanging out with you guys on these nights. What's happening, Lone Traveler? I gotta pick up the pace, or we will never get through any of these. Hey, what's up, JB? Good to see you, buddy. Clara, what's going on? Oh, actually, hey, good to see you, Karen. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. I have been posting regularly on Blue Sky. I'm not sure if folks are familiar with Blue Sky at all, but I have been, and I'm just going to share my Blue Sky right now. I have been posting. I've actually been getting into it lately. It was something I started doing just as like the temporary TikTok ban was like kind of going into effect. And so, yeah, now I am posting a lot regularly on Blue Sky. Some of it, fair warning, gets a little political because it's the nature of it. Like Blue Sky is kind of like what Twitter used to be before it got ruined. But it's also a little bit more diverse too, like in terms of like what you can post and like how you can post it. And so I honestly have a lot of fun with it. And it's been like really cool to use. And so if you're looking for me, just look for Goldshaw Farm, Blue Sky. Here, I'll actually even I'll drop it in the chat if you're looking for me on Blue Sky. I've actually, like I said, I've been really enjoying Blue Sky, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite platforms to use. Just a lot of interesting conversation up there. All right, what other questions can I answer here for you guys? Yeah, I saw Alfred on Can. Wait, are you saying actually you saw Alfred on WCAX? Because Alfred actually was in a news story on WCAX. I think like last year, or I'm sorry, not last year, yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was. So actually, I probably just stop and talk about this one. So I'm actually working right now. Like my next video essay for the Morgan Gold YouTube channel is like, so that's my second channel, is actually going to be all about schools. And like I actually went to the Board of Education meeting in Montpelier the other day, which if you were following me on Blue Sky, you know this. And I've been doing a whole lot of research talking about rural schools right now as some of the lawmaking and budgeting stuff is going on, and particularly in advance of town meeting day, which is the first Tuesday in March. I just have a lot of concerns about potentially having some of our rural schools closed, and I actually think that that's really bad for rural communities. And so I'm working on a video essay on that very topic right now. And Alfred actually spoke in a news story on that same topic too. He's going to be in my video too. It should be good. That'll probably be coming out towards later February. So stay tuned for that. Oh, I heard it. I heard about it because I didn't shave last night. And Allison this morning was like, "What happened? You don't love me?" Because she hates it when I don't shave. I don't know. So the one thing I actually did today that I guess is maybe also worth talking about, and I won't get too political here, but I did end up going, as you can actually see here. I ended up going to Montpelier. And wicked hang on, let me put that up. And I actually ended up going to Montpelier, and there was like kind of big protest, and it was actually really interesting to see. A lot of good energy there. And so I did that. And I don't know, I guess I it's really cold. I like to have like beard stubble because I feel like it keeps me a little bit warmer when that happens. Hey, New Mexico animals. I'm not sure if I would ever make a children's like a picture book. Maybe. I don't know. We're actually working on the illustrations right now for the 8 Lives of Little Barn Cat, and Zhao, who's the artist, is just so much more talented than I am. So I almost feel like inferior trying to do my own like kids pictures, and so I might end up sticking just to the novels. So yeah. Hey, what's up there, Chantilly Bouchard? From Chelsea. Oh, good to see you there. Hooray. What's up? I'm him. Okay, wait. Evening, Morgan. Hope you and the rest of the farm's residents are doing well. Pablo Escobar is Sir. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that Sir Fuzzy Butt likes the nip. That's really good to see, John. We have 3 kind of, oh, that's really cool. Well, I'm pretty proud of it. I will be offering it again next year. And oh, by the way, we did end up like in the end of December, we donated $1,000 to the Kingdom Animal Shelter, which, because of your purchase of that catnip, that was actually something we were able to do. And so really thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Wait a minute, Danny, you used to work at the mall in Buckland Hills? Really? How did we ever not talk about this before? Because like most of my adolescence was spent at the Buckland Hills Mall. Like I was literally a mall rat kid at Buckland Hills. Like there and Borders were like the 2 places like we would all hang out in high school. So yeah. Hey, Sarah Schneider, good to see you. Feeling super tired. Not with it today. Oh well, I'm really glad to hear that. Hopefully this will perk you up a little bit, and hopefully, you get a little rest there. But yeah, really good to see you, Sarah. All right. What else we got? Well, Pirate Jenish, I'm really glad you were able to join me here tonight. Well, Evan, I think to say that Peacham has a lot of affordable housing is a stretch. We are working to convert an old like vacant building right now into 4 affordable apartments. They're not available yet. Like I think they're going to go online, knock on wood, if everything's all said and done by early next year. I think all the construction should be complete. But yeah, no, they are not available yet. And we are still a very small town, and this is a very small initiative on like the relative scale of things. So I don't mean to play it off like it's huge. So yeah. Well, congratulations, Lori. I hope your pup is doing good for you. I know, Clayton. I actually have gotten this message a lot. Like a lot of folks really enjoy the pigs from a viewer's perspective, but I don't know. I think you're going to enjoy some of the adventures that Larn and Bardicus and Telemachus go on this year. So hopefully that maybe fills the void just a little bit. Tiana's saying it's above 100 degrees. I mean, that's crazy because I think right now we might have just crossed. It's 4 degrees Fahrenheit right now outside. It's supposed to. I think the low is going to be like -2 or -3 tonight. I know I just brought Pablo and Ginny in, and they're going to be camping out in the basement tonight, which is typically something we will do. Like when we have like really cold weather, and like particularly if it's like Anytime it gets below 0, we'll actually bring them inside. Yeah. Okay. So Bruce is actually 100% right about the rototilled thing. In terms of the one big difference, and I can attest to this, is the pigs will turn your area into like a moonscape. The goats will basically just eat every piece of vegetation and strip all your bark. And so it kind of depends on what you want there too. So, but yeah, Bruce is 100% right about that. Hey, what's going on, Jess? Good to see you. I don't know if you actually guys saw this earlier this week. So the video I put out on Monday actually featured my good friend Jessica Sowers and her husband Jeremiah. And in this video that I put out, or actually, so is this video that I was down at their house back in 2022, and we recorded this video of us talking about what we hope to see in 3 years. And so that was the video that, like, here, I'm just gonna put it up on the screen here. So yeah, that was Monday's video, and it was so fun to make, and it was just kind of weird to see, like, when you get something wrong like that, like what that actually looks like and stuff. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun with it. Then Jess and I actually had a conversation too. So if you didn't check out that video, definitely get a watch. I really enjoyed making that one. I don't know, like, and you guys tell me if you guys like those types of videos or not, but I had a ton of fun with it. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'm doing speed running here so I don't fall too far ahead. Timothy, you have inspired my wife and I to try our luck in farming life. That Timothy, that makes me feel exceptionally good to hear that. So I hope you don't regret it. I hope you guys have some fun with it and really enjoy it, and best of luck with it for sure. Weasel, you're 100% right. I feel like I've been willing to admit that one where I was a goat hater. I was not liking them, but I really do enjoy taking care of my goats, and they've been a lot of fun to have. So yes, consider me converted. Ooh, Karen, you're asking a very good question here. So when I leave the farm, it's always kind of this mixed feeling. Like when it's like I'm making a plan to leave the farm like 3 months from now, it's like, oh, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But then the closer and closer it gets to me leaving, the more and more stress and anxiety I tend to feel. And I'm like worried about making sure everything is exactly right and set for my farm sitter so she doesn't have any problems, and like everything's all taken care of. And I get wicked stressed out about it. And then when I leave, I feel really, really sad. And then probably within 24 hours of leaving, I just kind of embrace whatever I'm doing and wherever I am. And I don't forget about the farm, but the stress kind of goes away unless there's a problem. And then when I get home, I am so happy to be home. So it is kind of a full cycle of all of the emotions. So yeah. I'm going to be planting apple trees this year. How can a homeowner protect their trees from deer predation? It's a tricky one in the Shaun of a New Day, which is a great name for a YouTube channel or whatever. I love that, in the Shaun of a New Day. That's great. So here's what I would actually say. I think number one, you can do something like fencing, but fencing for deer is hard. Like, I think it needs to be at least 6 feet, or you can do 5 feet and it's like 2 fences, because deer don't like to do those wide jumps. But if you only have like even a 5-foot fence, you're going to have potentially deer jumping through it. Like that will happen. I think the other thing you can do, which I've done before, is tree tubes. And what those will do is they won't fully protect your trees, but they will protect them when they're smallest and most vulnerable. So if you get like a 5-foot high tree tube, that you can put around your tree seedling, and you can leave it on there for a couple of years, what that will do is actually protect it and give it a chance to grow bigger. So that's definitely one consideration. And then the other thing is, honestly, if you plant a ton of apple trees, yeah, the deer might come by and browse it a little bit, but they're not going to get everything. And apple trees are surprisingly resilient. And so my strategy has always been to kind of like flood the zone and just have a whole bunch of apple trees. Oh yeah, by the way, in case you're wondering, that's the Blue Sky. Yeah, feel free to check me out on Blue Sky. It's been a lot of fun, like I said, and there's not a ton of people on there yet, so I don't know. It's kind of cool. I'm enjoying them. Dan, I don't know if you want me talking about this, but you were kind of talking about how you left some stuff and set things up for the good, and I was like, go girl. So that's really what it was. Okay. Lady Rorschach Sam, I'm having a heck of a time finding local sources for buff goslings, and the prices online a bit steep. Bird flu. Well, yeah, I mean, buff are a great breed, but if you can't get your hands on buff, Toulouse and Emden would be the other two that I would recommend. And they're all very, very similar types. They just look different. Like buff are like that buff tannish color. The Emden are going to be white, and the Toulouse are going to be gray. And so I mean, I'd probably say that Emden is slightly closer to the buff geese in terms of temperament. I mean, they're I don't know, they're extremely similar. And so I think you're going to have better luck finding them locally. But I mean, honestly, too, like unless you have a farm near you that's actually hatching their own goslings, which not a lot of places are doing, it's going to be hard to find. And it's going to be even harder to be like really breed specific. And that's where somebody like Metzer Farm, who is like the waterfowl hatchery I would recommend for folks. That's where they're going to be a good option. And so it all depends whether you're willing to compromise on breed, or if you are really fixed on a breed, then yeah, you're better off, even though it's expensive. And even though, you probably don't love going online and having them shipped in the mail. I've done it many a times, and I've had very few issues of note. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you. All right. Cat is farming vicariously through our videos. Well, that's very sweet. I will definitely give everybody a pet when I see them for you, Cat. Yeah, I actually like goat meat. I'm just, number one, for the record, I'm not making any plans to eat my goats, but like, oh no, I'm not sure. I shouldn't talk about this. Should I talk about this? Maybe I'll talk about it. All right. I'm not adding any more goats anytime soon, but I might eventually add more goats and actually start getting into goats for meat. I'm going to do some experiments this year with the boys and see how things go. And if that goes well, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities that I start to add even more goats and make that more of a focus for me. But I'm just not ready yet, but it is something that is, I'll admit, in the back of my head. So we'll see. John from Walmart and Sunset View Homestead wants to know if you're worried about avian influenza in flock. Yes. I mean, John, honestly, I'm very worried. I think I'm not exceptionally worried this time of year because it's not as big of an issue, but like come April, May, I'm terrified. I'm actually debating keeping my birds inside more for those months, because those are going to be the highest risk months for us here. And the reason for that is, when migratory bird populations start moving again, that's when you're going to have your biggest risk of bird flu. Right now, because it's so cold and there aren't a lot of birds in the area, it's not nearly as big an issue right now. But 3 months from now, 2 months from now, even, yeah, I don't know. I don't love the idea of just trying to keep them in the hoop coop in that time of year. But yeah, I think that is kind of the issue. So sorry. I mean, I don't know. Like there's not much else I can do. I mean, either I give up on doing a free range bird system, or I don't. I can't do both. And so I'm inclined. I'm probably going to end up just sort of taking my chances. Okay. I am sorry, Paula, but yes, you're going to have to wait until the summer for the new book. I'm not going to put it out just prematurely. I'm working through the steps right now, and so eventually it'll be here, but yeah, just not yet. Okay. Against my better judgment, I'm going to go into this exchange because I think it is worth talking about. So, hi, my name is Mark. I have a girl in WWE professional wrestling in the women's division. Her name is Liv Morgan. We've been talking and texting for about a year and 2 months from now. Yeah. So, FYMXQ, you need to be really careful. And I don't mean to be giving you life advice that you didn't ask for, but as BKM is saying, you really need to be careful because, yeah, that's kind of how scammers work. I mean, have you been video talking to them or has it just been entirely by text? If it's been entirely by text, I would be very suspicious. That's just my honest answer there. But I don't know. If not, good on you. I am not familiar with Liv Morgan, so I couldn't speak to that. But yeah, as just FYMXQ, and I'm not saying this to call you out or give you problems, but BKM is giving some exceptionally good advice here, and definitely think about that. So yeah, lone traveler. It's actually interesting. So number one, I think public schools are really important. I think for society, for future generations, for kind of thinking about future places, whether it be rural towns or cities or wherever, having a good, healthy public school system is critically important. It's just a personal belief I have. That's not to say that I think homeschooling is bad. That's not to say that I don't think that there are actually fine, parochial school. I've gone to parochial school. Like, not saying that, but I am just saying that I do think it's critically important. And I actually feel like, particularly in our politics in the last couple of decades, the concept of education has sort of fallen into the background. I feel like there was the disaster that was No Child Left Behind. And ever since then, it has not been a forefront issue, only an issue as sort of tangentially related in terms of culture wars, in terms of book banning or, really trying to kind of hurt the rights of trans kids or that sort of thing. Like that sort of has been the only time I feel like education has popped up prominently, particularly in our national political cycles. But I'm a huge believer in education and particularly public school education. So yeah, I'm right there with you, lone traveler. Yeah, Lady Rorschach is also concerned. Yeah. How many calves do I currently have? How many Macho Man calves do you expect this spring? So all the calves that will be born on the farm will be Macho Man calves this year, which is a little bit different than last year because I still had a couple of Charlet that he did not father. I'm pretty sure one of my Charlets is not pregnant, just based on behavior and what I'm seeing. So I'm pretty sure Astrid is not pregnant. But other than that, I'm pretty sure all the other girls are. So Ariel, so the answer to number question, we have 17 head of cattle total right now. I think right now, Ariel, Audrey, Anna Green Gables, Annabelle, Belinda Carlisle, Bonnie McMurray, who else? I think Amelia Bedelia and Amanda Hugginkiss. I think those 8 are potentially pregnant, or pretty sure they're pregnant. And so in theory, Betsy, I could have 8 calves born this spring, all the offspring of Macho Man. My 4 heifer calves from last year, so that would include, let's see, so the 4 heifer calf, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Betty White, Betty Rubble, and Belle. They are going to be separated from the rest of the herd this spring. And so they're going to be in a different part of the farm. And I'm going to basically let them wait out a year. But I will be taking Baby B, so Beatrix Potter is her full name, and Alice B. Tokless, and they'll be joining the breeding herd this year. And so the herd's going to grow. Like, in theory, I could be up to nearly 30 head by this time next year. Actually, not quite that much. I guess 26 or so head of cattle. But I'll probably end up selling a couple just because I got to balance some things out somehow, and I can't just keep hoarding animals. No, you know what, Pablo Dark? I don't intend to raise guinea pigs anytime soon. It's kind of like the same thing with rabbits and with quail, where it's like, I don't really want cage animals. I don't know. I got a lot of things going on. I think focusing more and more on cattle, focusing more and more on maybe goats, like that's really where I want to be more so than yeah. So BKM, in terms of the Toby Dog book, I did not do those illustrations. And I'm looking to see if I have a copy of the Toby Dog book right around here. I don't. I did not. So a really, really talented artist. Her name is Zhao. She's actually over in the UK. She did the first book and she's doing the second book. In terms of other art, sometimes I do it. Like, so for example, the Pablo Barn Cat and the Pigfoot graphics. So like, if you know our t-shirts, right? Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. And I'm not doing this just for a merch plug, but it does give me an indirect merch plug. If you look at some of our art, I actually did those. So hold on a sec. I'm gonna share my screen. So like, for example, you know, this graphic that you see here on the catnip, like I did that one. It was a little bit collage, a little bit drawing. The Pigfoot graphic that you see on the t-shirt here, this little boy is wearing, I did that one too. I did this Farm Dogs one, but I traced it, so it's kind of like an asterisk. But I did do that. So I do some of them, but like, for example, the cover that you see here with Toby Dog, like I did not do that. That was Zhao. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. All right, what else do we got? No, Jonathan, we are all sold out of the catnip. Sorry. Oh, you know, that's really, really kind of you, but I'll have to take a pass because number one, I don't think I will be down there in April for that. And I gosh, I got to admit, like, I love the Dead Kennedys. The Dead Kennedys are one of my 5 favorite albums, and I'll actually talk about something related to Dead Kennedys because they got a lot of questions about this. Or one of my 5 favorite bands of all time is the Dead Kennedys, unquestionably. But I gotta admit, when they broke up, I'm on more like Jello Biafra's side than like Ray Pellegrino's side. And like East Bay Ray, yeah. So I kind of, I would shy away from actually seeing the Dead Kennedys only for that's not true. I would still go see them, but I've really enjoyed going to see Jello Biafra over the years. I really love his stuff. Okay, I'm going to answer a Dead Kennedys related question only because I get this question so often, and people like come at me very concerned about it. And believe me, guys, you don't need to be concerned. This is actually, it's not a bad thing. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I have this hat that I will often wear. It's this one that you see in this picture. It looks like, and it on the hat, I actually wrote picnic table. And if you look at the image, it's like I don't know, in my opinion, it looks like a side profile picture of a picnic table. And what it is, though, is folks are actually copyright trouble. So the reality is, it's actually that is the symbol for the band, the Dead Kennedys. And so, as kind of a goofy DIY joke, I made a picnic table hat out of a Dead Kennedys logo. So for those who are wondering what that is, what does that mean? That's what it means. It's the Dead Kennedys. So yeah. Mystery solved. Late 2000s, but not at the mall. But oh, she was at the Target. Yeah, okay. Well, so let's see. I mean, I graduated high school in 98. So yeah, I was definitely past that time. But I don't know. I guess I was probably still living in the area because I moved out of Hartford. It was 2010 when I left Hartford. So yeah, there you go. All right. Okay. Hold on, I'm jumping ahead. All right, well, that's cool to hear, Nene. I really appreciate it. What's a snollycuster? As I think a rude and annoying person. 100% agree, Karen. Oh, hey, thank you, Bruce. Oh, really nice. I just saw that too. Thank you, Bruce. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing some experiments this year with that in particular. Like, like on the edges of various places. And I actually might be pairing them up with Abby. I don't know. Abby, and I don't know if you guys have probably seen it in a couple of recent videos. Like Abby can do really good with the goats and she kind of keeps them in order, but sometimes she tries to play with them and then they try to headbutt her. And I'm like worried that she was like she'll get like a concussion or something. Yeah. Oh, Lady Rorschach, I'm super excited for you. Congratulations on that. Hey, it's Rick, right? It's Rick, right? Sometimes I miss. But yeah, good to see you, bud. All right. I wouldn't say I'm YouTube rich. I feel like I do pretty well for my. I do very good. Like I'm good. Um, and I actually think like here's the thing about expanding the farm. It's less about like financial investment and more about what can I sustainably manage in a given day by myself. I don't necessarily want to have like a bunch of like farm employees and that sort of thing. And so the thing that keeps me from adding like more stuff on the farm and more animals on the farm is like how much time in the day do I have and like how do I like keep things sustainable from that perspective versus like just thinking about like like the money side of like buying more animals or something like that. All right. So Jonathan, like Blue Sky is like I said, it's kind of like what Twitter used to be in that like there's like a lot of good media stuff, like a lot of like interesting things that you'll see like in terms of news. But then like it's also a good place to like share videos and stuff. And so I could do everything from like I'll post videos directly to there or pictures, or sometimes I'll share like TikToks or YouTube videos. Like here I am promoting today's video. And then other times I'll just like actually talk about things that I'm seeing in the news or like just thoughts or dumb random ideas I have. And so it's kind of a mishmash of stuff. I think as Facebook has become so completely unusable, and sorry for everybody who's watching this on Facebook. I mean, I don't know, but like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like Facebook has just become completely overrun with like the most garbagey posts like ever when it comes to like just AI stuff and slop. And I'm a guy who actually not opposed to AI stuff, but like some of the stuff on there is just so awful. It's like, ugh, clutters up the feed. So like I haven't been a fan of that. I've never been a big Instagram guy. TikTok, which I don't even know how long TikTok's going to still be around, but like, if it does go away, I would really miss it because that's actually one of that and YouTube are the ones I like the most. But then Blue Sky, it's just been a really fun place to kind of hang out and just be a little weird. So I've been enjoying it. Okay. Leslie asks, what tree crops would you grow if you lived farther south? That's a great question, Leslie. The number one thing I would grow if like as a tree crop, if I lived further south, like unquestionably would be a pawpaw. Um, and I know that there's actually some folks who have like cold hardy pawpaws. Actually, at the protest today, I ran into this guy. His name is Buzz Fervor. He is like a tree genius. He has a farm over in Barry, Vermont. And I think he has some cold hardy pawpaws, but they require like really delicate love and care. Um, if I lived further south, like if I lived in Pennsylvania or like between Pennsylvania and like I think even down to Georgia they can grow. That would be the number one thing. The fruit is delicious. It's like a banana texture. It's like custardy and sweet. It's so good. Pawpaw would be the number one thing. Like not even a second of hesitation. I mean, I think peaches would be the other thing I'd like to grow more of if I actually lived in a warmer climate. Peaches don't, despite the fact that I live in Peacham, peaches don't grow all that well here. Oh, now I'm really curious about your perfect name for a buff gander. That sounds interesting. Oh, so Karen, Pablo and Ginny, they're both doing great. They're actually, like I said earlier, they're actually camping out in the basement tonight. Just because it's going to go into negative temps tonight, and so I usually like to bring them inside for negative temps. I think here's why you don't see them on camera as much right now. During the winter months, they are crankier. They have heated little barn cat houses in the new barn. That's where they actually like to sleep and spend most of their time. Um, and so, like, when I'm out doing chores, they don't follow me around nearly as much as they do in the summer months. And so typically what they'll do is they'll like hide in the barn until that they see me coming back into the house, which is usually when I feed them, and then they'll scurry right out. And so they're both doing really well. Little barn cat is also doing really well. Everybody's good. But yeah, the winter months are the barn cats are always much more scarce. Well, Liz, tell your Shiba Inus that I say woof right back to them. Wow. Yeah. See, Rick, that sounds absolutely delicious. Like I would. That sounds like a wonderful meal. So Jermaine, so the first calf, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be probably like the first or second week of April, somewhere in that range is when I would expect them. Um, I would actually like to have a good 50-50 mix is the honest answer. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I'd love to have, a good, healthy, balanced ratio in terms of sex, male and female. And yeah, I think I'd love to have it like the second week of April if I could pick a week, only just because like just March can be so unpredictable, and so I'm hoping I don't really calve much in March. I shouldn't, based on when I put everybody together, but I don't know. You can always be a week or two early or a week or two late. That happens with cattle. Yeah. So I'm actually not going to. So I've been debating this, and I don't know. I say I'm not, but I might actually have some in the barn in case I need to trot them out. What I'm finding is this: number one, the cattle just full on don't need them this time of year. Um, they just don't. They're hardy outdoor animals who, like, I have a neighbor who has, like, he's where I actually got the Charleys from, and he's been keeping those cattle about, I don't know, a mile away from our farm, outdoors year round for more than 30 years, and they do just great. And so I don't feel like I need it there. When it comes to calving, that's kind of why I'm trying to push it a little bit later. Um, so I don't have as much risk. And I also actually have a process for how, if I needed to, I would actually bring them into the barn. I have a way to get the moms separated out from everybody if I need to, or if I feel like it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And so that's what I'm going into this spring looking at in terms of shelters. I mean, honestly, I love it here. I mean, I've actually been really enjoying to like just getting more and more into like kind of the inner workings of Vermont, and it's a great state, great place. I mean, it's got some challenges, but I think those challenges are possible to overcome. And yeah, I don't know. I love it here. It's been treating me very well overall. No Clayton, no horses. I'm not a horse guy. Allison's not a horse gal. Yeah, no, I don't foresee us having any horses anytime soon. It's in terms of the expense, the attention, the time. I just don't have the interest for it. Oh, well, thanks for following, Gail. Yeah, like I said, it's been a very fun place to hang out. Whoa. Oh wow, yeah, actually, I can see a bunch of you guys hanging out there. Oh, this is so cool that like so many folks are popping on. Assassin 32's up there now. Who else is following me on Blue Sky? Oh wow, I'm looking. I can see like all of you guys like who followed me on. I'm not gonna flash the names up, but it's really cool to be able to see you guys up here. Thank you for doing that. Like I said, it's becoming one of my favorite places to hang out online. Um, Yeah, I'm Scott. I'm all for 4-H clubs. I think, yeah, kind of giving kids that experience is a really positive one for sure, 100%. Yeah, like Danny's saying, they're giant hay burners. That's a very good way to put it. I never said Belinda Carlisle was punk. Wait, did I? Wait, how did I don't know, Casey. Maybe you're not saying that to me, but I was like, wait a minute. No, like Belinda Carlisle. I mean, the Go-Go's are not a punk band by any means. I mean, new wave-ish, maybe. I guess you could call the Go-Go's new wave, maybe. I love the Go-Go's. I don't know about you guys, but I think the Go-Go's were a great band. So yeah. Okay, yeah, Ginger. So I don't want, like I said earlier, I don't watch like wrestling. The one, like, all right, I'm gonna cop to something here that you guys might think is sad and weird, but I find it endlessly entertaining. There are certain things that just always will put me into a good mood when I watch them. Uh, Sketches from I Think You Should Leave, sketches from The Kids in the Hall, and wrestling promos from people like Macho Man Randy Savage. Like, I love a great wrestling promo that, like, Ultimate Warrior was also pretty good. Jake the Snake Roberts was always pretty good. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, they had great wrestling. I love wrestling promos. I'm going to admit it. I don't like actually watching wrestling all that much. I kind of find it boring and annoying, the actual, like, most of the stagecraft. Not as bad. It's just not like my thing. But wrestling promos, I could watch like endless loops of good wrestling promos. And yeah, Macho Man was one of the best, if not the best. I mean, Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair too. I don't think you can underrate them at all. Like, they have some amazing legendary promos, like where they have like just phrases and words that they said in their promos 40 years ago that are still in the public lexicon today. And so, yeah, wrestling promos is what I'm all about. Yes, I hope to do that. Actually, I'm actually wanting to keep some of them, and part of it is I'm going to be keeping like Belle and Betty Rubble, for example, and I'm actually going to be trying to AI them in a couple of years. But I'm also going to be trying to exchange some of my heifer calves for that exact reason. C. Storben. Okay, Alex, this is an excellent question. And so, I mean, look, I'm going to admit it. Like, the profitability at this point isn't like my ultimate goal that I'm chasing. Making sure I don't get overwhelmed and have too much going on 100% is part of my concern. And so, I hear people in comments and even in this chat tonight of like people saying, oh, you should get this animal, or you should get this type of thing or that type of thing. And honestly, I don't want to, for the exact reason you're citing, Alex, where like, like when you add too much stuff, it can be really, really hard to keep up with it all and to do a good job, particularly when you're taking care of animals. And so that's why you guys don't see me getting like, that's why that's why I don't get pigs. Like, I'm not doing pigs this year because I don't think I have the bandwidth to do it well. And so I'm just not doing it. But that said, I feel like I've got like kind of my rhythm down with the other animals, and that's how I'm able to manage it. The ducks, the chickens, the geese, they all kind of stack on each other. In the summer months, the chickens and cattle kind of stack on each other. I'm planning on actually trying to make the goats stack on everybody too. And so like those types of things work really, really well. And so that's what you're going to see me continue to do more of. And so it's just a matter of balancing. And Alex, like right now I'm at capacity, which is why you're not seeing me add more. If I can make some progress this year and getting more efficient, you might see me add more eventually, but not right now. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. I'm so glad you joined. Good to see you again, Rebecca. Yeah, I would honestly, Brady, I would get another adult as soon as you can. And I don't know if you have other birds or other geese or other ducks or chickens. You need something ASAP, or else your bird is going to get really, really sad and depressed. If they're all alone, it's like your one lone bird. If they have other birds in their flocks, they'll be okay. I would argue to get an adult versus getting a bunch of babies, because the babies and the adults can have a weird dynamic if they don't bond properly. And so you're going to have to spend like another, I don't know, 8-10 weeks keeping them separate before they can all get together. If you can get your hands on an adult male, that's probably ideal, so you can have a breeding pair. or even just a female, they'll do fine together. So I would say that. Oh, Clayton, that makes me so happy. Yeah, I have a Pigfoot hoodie that I wear all the time. I like the Pigfoot design a lot. And I know it's kind of conceited of me to say that because I made it, but I like it. Yeah, all right. And Rusty, I am not picking on you, but it's actually, this is a very, very good follow-up to Alex Whitney's question earlier about, like, you know, my workload and stuff. See, like, the reason I'm not looking to get peacocks is exactly that. It's like, it's a whole new animal I have to learn. I got to figure out if I can take care of them the right way. How do they fit into the rest of my system? And I don't want to invest the time and energy into doing that right now. And so that's why I'm not rushing out to raise peacocks. Tracing counts as art. Okay, all right, I'll take it then. So then I did do the farm dog shirt too, even though, like I said, it was tracing. You know what though, John? It really won't, because here's what's going to happen. Like right now, there's probably about a foot of ice and snow packed up that sits above where the water is, and so I could put that gravel down, but then within 2 or 3 weeks of a good solid winter, it would cover up, and so it's almost not worth the effort. Oh, well, BKM, that's very, very kind of you. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Oh, so what are my top 5 bands? Asks Rios family. All right, so Dead Kennedys, The Clash. Oh man, I don't want to, like. Oh, this is hard. Like, hold on. I'm just gonna look at my Days and Days. I guess really falls into my top 10. Or top 5. Yeah. Who else? Jawbreaker. Crimp Shrine. There you go. That's my top 5. Yeah. So Dead Kennedys, The Clash, Days and Days, Jawbreaker, Crimp Shrine. Oh, guys, I gotta tell you, I have a new favorite album that I just discovered, and actually Monday's video is going to feature music from this album. So you guys may or may not know this. I really love folk punk music. It's like, you know, if you're not familiar with folk punk, it's basically like punk, but played with acoustic instruments, more or less. And there's this one really good folk punk band out in Cincinnati. They're called Run Rabbit Run. And like really kind of funky, interesting stuff. Like I really like them. I've been listening to them for, I don't know, probably about 6 months or so. And they're down in like Cincinnati, I believe. And hold on, I'm gonna pull them up so I can have like a visual. I can't play the music because of copyright issues, but I'm gonna just show you. So like Run Rabbit Run, like they're this like kind of just goofy, interesting folk punk band. Their lead singer though, she's like wicked talented. Her name's Abby. She plays like you can see her here. It's like a banjo ukulele, and it just sounds like really cool and really funky. And anyway, she just put out a new solo album, and so her music is going to be in Monday's video. It's going to be the soundtrack for Monday's video. Her solo project is called Bent Beak, and it's really, really good. And I encourage you to check it out. It's out on Spotify. I think it's out on Bandcamp. I know it's on Apple Music because that's where I've been listening to it. But yeah. So so if you're looking for band recommendations that you might not have heard of, Run Rabbit Run is really great. But then also Abby's new project, Bent Beak, also outstanding. And so those have been good. The other thing I've been really excited about, really good album that came out this month so far is I don't know if you guys know Pat the Bunny. He's like another folk punk guy. He let's see what he was in was it like Wingnut Dishwashers Union, Johnny Hobo, and what was it, the third band he was in? I'm drawing a blank on their name, but anyway, he's also really good. He just put out a new album with his brothers. I think it's like Friends in Real Life is what it's called. That is also really, really good. So yeah, that's my little music minute for the moment. Minor Threat. Yeah, I love Minor Threat, Matt Schaefer. I mean, they're in the list. They're outstanding. I'm not old. How am I not old enough? I mean, I was not like, yeah, I mean, I was too young for them when they first came out, but like think about it this way. So Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables came out what, like 1978 or so. I was born in 1980. I was probably about 14 or so when I discovered, maybe 13, 14, somewhere like that, when I discovered the Dead Kennedys. And so, yeah, like I'm too young to be a first wave fan, but I don't know. I've still been listening to them for like 30 plus years at this point. I don't think Allison knows all of the animals by name. I mean, she knows obviously she knows all the dogs and cats. She knows all the goats. She knows, I think, most of the cattle. I don't think she could actually, you know what? I bet you this could actually be a fun short video to do, even though she might really not want to do it and it might be kind of mean. But I would actually like to see if I could get her to name all of the cattle. That would be kind of funny. She definitely doesn't know all the bird names. I think I'm the only person who knows all the bird names. Actually, Heather, that's a really interesting idea. I mean, I feel weird selling it in a catnip label, but like maybe I might try to. Would people want to buy milkweed pods from the farm? Because I could actually see, like, in a similar type of printed paper bag like the catnip, and I could actually do kind of a fun like brand of milkweed. Would people actually want to buy that? I don't know. Let me know. Okay. Rose, good to see you. Rose, another one of our moderators from Wholesome Roots. Good to see you. You lived in Newington. Oh man, it is a small world, Danny. Jonathan asks, do I believe in Bigfoot? No, I don't believe in Bigfoot, or at least the modern incarnation that often gets cited as Sasquatch, Yeti, whatever you want to call it. The reason I don't is this. I genuinely feel like at this point in humanity's history, we would have found some sort of evidence, physical, tangible evidence, not just some like grainy pictures of a dude in a costume type stuff, of like Bigfoot scat, Bigfoot skeletons, Bigfoot encounters. And, you know, at least within the last 400 years or so, there's really no true record, authenticated record of any of those things. And so that leads me to say no, that Bigfoot does not exist. So yeah. I don't know. You know what? Actually, I just got news from Toby's breeder. And this is such an ongoing saga. His registration stuff is finally getting worked out as we speak. So the answer is he will be registered very soon. If I can find a breeding match for him, I would love to have him have puppies. And I probably even, what I'd actually like to do is have Toby have puppies and probably adopt a female or two out of that litter so that I could actually have them as breeding, one of them at least be a breeding dog of the future, to kind of keep Toby's line going. Because I don't know, he's just such an incredible dog, and I'd love to do that if I could. So yeah, I mean, if there's anybody in the New England area who would ever want to like try to breed with Toby, hit me up. I would literally do it for a puppy or two. So yeah. Oh wait, Casey, did you just send me that email today? I think I saw it, but there was like no way to contact somebody. I'd be curious to see more. I'm not sure there's much I can do to help, but at the very least, you have my empathy, because that it sounded kind of. If you're the person I'm thinking of, that sounded like it kind of sucked. What's going on there, Jacob's Ladder? So I don't usually take volunteers, and here's the reason why. One, I'm just like hyper particular about certain things when it comes to taking care of the farm. And I haven't had the greatest experience over the years with volunteers. It's just, I mean, I don't want to get into it all, but like, it's just, I mean, there's been good times, but overall it generally doesn't work out as well. And then two, I actually think it's good to hire people in my community for projects and jobs when I need them. and just, I mean, one, it creates work for folks. Two, it puts money back into our local economy. And so I'm like much more in favor of doing something like that. We have not shot our time capsule video yet, but we have a plan to shoot it very soon. I will say that yes, there will be another one. I'm not sure if we're going to do 3 years or 5 years, but I can guarantee you that within the next couple of weeks, we will be shooting another video together. Is your current level of viewership sustainable, or does it not? I mean, I think I understand your question, Clayton. I think the answer is this. I think it's currently sustainable. Does that mean it'll be like that forever? I don't know. The best you can kind of keep doing is like keep creating and keep doing. I think there's always this healthy tension of kind of creating content that really resonates with folks who are currently watching your videos versus finding new folks, because you're also going to always have people kind of fall off from watching your videos. And so it's like you have to like strike a balance is I guess maybe how I'd answer your question. Oh, well, Delia, I really appreciate you doing that. Thanks. Like I'm ringing the bell for Delia here tonight. Thank you. All right. Have you considered animal farm chores versus producing more video? Yeah, like honestly, that is something that does need to be balanced. But if I was going to be really honest with you, so I for years did 3 videos a week. I guess you know what it was? It was when I quit my day job, I started doing 3 videos a week. So that was back in January of 2022. But then last January, I stopped doing 3 and I just went back down to 2. And the reason was because I started my second YouTube channel. And so not having to do that 3rd video a week gives me the capacity to do more. And so honestly, Carolyn, if you're looking for more videos and you haven't already gone to the Morgan Gold channel, that would probably be the first place I'd point you to, because honestly right now, like, so I think some of my more interesting videos that I put out actually end up on that channel. The way I divvy it up these days, Carolyn, is like anything that's like more directly related to our farm, that's what goes on the Goldshaw Farm channel. But then when I want to do other like kind of deeper dive topics or weird things or anything like that, that's when you're going to see the Morgan Gold channel pop up. And so they're less frequent, but they're also like a lot more work. So for example, last summer I put out this video about the Back to the Land movement and people living off grid. That thing took me like 4 months to make because it's a 3-hour long video. And so, you see me do that. I just put out another like hour-long video, or not quite an hour, 50-minute video about the history of farmland. And that was another one that took me a good deal of time. And so this is where like that extra time goes to versus like that. I know some people will say, well, I just want to see your farm. I don't really care about those other things. And I get that. But admittedly, for me personally, I actually find a lot of these videos to be more like personally fulfilling, and I really enjoy making them. And so I think like when you make videos, it's like this balance of like, what do people want to see and what do you want to make? And like trying to strike that right balance is never easy, but I don't know. I try to do my best. And so when you ask like, well, could I do more than twice a week? It really would come in the form of like one of these. And so right now, like I said, I'm working on this rural school video, which will probably be out like maybe like the last week of February. I'm doing like a whole bunch of interviews and like a bunch of animations going to be in it. Like I'm doing a lot of other things. Like, even for example, like, like each one of these videos has just like a ton of animation that I've been doing myself too, which is another thing that I really love, that it like frees me up to be able to do. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the answer. It might not be the answer we wanted to hear, Carolyn, but that is the honest one. All right, let's keep going. And I'm starting to get tired. I can already feel it. Yeah, Rose, and I know you just said this at 8:37 and it's 9:04. Yeah, I am pretty far back in the chat. Yeah, Rich is is he in New Hampshire or Massachusetts? I guess you say here. So yeah, I might try to do paw. You know what? Actually, I should really try to do pawpaw. I love pawpaw. It's just everybody I've talked to in like northern Vermont, like up here, has experimented with it and never had much luck. Um, yeah. Yeah, you know what, Raymond? I actually think I might just hit 900,000 tonight. So if you guys like tell people that you know and love to check out our channel, maybe we'll get there. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. Well, special effects, if you have any suggestions, I'm totally open to them. The rules of calf names are for first generation females, it's A names, second generation B names, third generation C names, so on and so forth. We will potentially have 2 C name calves this year, which I'm super, super excited about. So that's one thing to mention. And then for the boys, it is the names of dead rock stars. That is the rule. I probably wouldn't because I don't think he'd really want me to do that. And I mean, I'm sure I could kind of push him, and he like might say yes, but I don't really want to push him. Like if I thought he would be into it, I would probably have done it by now. But yeah, I don't anticipate doing that because I don't want to really put him on the spot. But I don't know, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Christina, I'm so glad to see you. I love Christina so much. She's such a sweet, sweet person. Touche, Claytonburg. Touche. You know what, Jonathan? All right, I'm gonna be honest about this one. Turkeys I could potentially see because number one, I have so much poultry experience that my general sense of things would be trying to raise turkeys isn't so far, like, isn't a big stretch for me. So I could see maybe doing that, but I don't know. I'm not rushing into it. But I would definitely do turkeys before I started to do mini donkeys. That is the truth. Actually, Casey, here's the thing. Like even the boys right now, so Joey Ramone and Macho Man have access to a barn and they never go in it. Like I think I've seen them out there 4 times this entire winter. And it wasn't like when it was snowy or windy or something like that. These animals, they just like to be, they prefer to be outside is the real honest truth of it all. I love the B-52s, the B-52s too. I think they're great. I'm a Metallica fan. I love it. But do I Baba Booey? Baba Booey. I grew up a massive Howard Stern fan, particularly like my teenage years. Listen to him on WCCC 106.9 or 107, depending on when it was. So yeah, I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. I don't like him as much these days, and it's not so much like I know lots of people go on this like whole rant of like Howard Stern getting woke and like now he's not cool. That's actually not why I don't like him. It's not that I don't like him, so I don't want to say that. I'm not as into his show as I used to be because back in the day, it just had this rhythm and like I don't know, you just felt like you were like a part of this like a group of friends hanging out. And I feel like when he started to reduce the number of shows and when he started to just focus more and more on celebrity interviews, it lost a lot of that. And it just lost some of that vibes. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the show was definitely at its peak. Like that time period between when he first moved to Sirius and then pretty much all the way through to like Artie left. Like that's like my favorite era of the show for sure. I mean, I don't eat macaroni and cheese a lot, but if I was making like, kind of the traditional blue box craft dinner, I would probably opt for a spoon, which I know that's probably controversial. Oh, I could watch old Andy Kaufman footage all day. Oh, I could live for that. Yeah. Jim Cornette was also great. Yes, I do. I will acknowledge that fully. I didn't mention him earlier, but yeah, he is great. Toby McQuackers is actually pretty good. I just saw her what was it yesterday? I noticed I was actually looking at her specifically, Grant. Actually Toby McQuackers and this is another one that maybe like folks who've been watching us for a while remember. Squirmy Little One. You guys remember Squirmy Little One? Really great. Oh, Rowdy Piper did. I love like old foot. Like I would be bored watching an old wrestling match, but if I was like watching an old episode of Piper's Pit, like forget about it. Yeah, Lil. Yeah, Lil is in the house. Here, Lil, can you say hi to everybody? Hi. She's like up in her cat tree just napping. Oh, well, I'm really glad to hear that, Tracy. And yeah, there is a new video coming tomorrow. So the new video tomorrow is all about, one question I get a lot is like, how much money does it cost to run your farm every single day? And so I was actually just doing some tax stuff, and so I had like some of my expense numbers really handy. And so tomorrow I'll break down how much it costs to run Goldshaw Farm each day, particularly in the winter. I have some backup plans in place, but I probably need to keep doing more because I think like that injury thing is something I know it's something that actually stresses Allison out a lot. And so yeah, I think like that is something I keep trying to do. I have some ways to do it. I mean, like I've been hurt a couple times in the last year. Like 2 years ago when I like cut off the tip of my finger, that was definitely a challenge. When I broke my toe this past fall, that was really hard. That was actually really, really hard. That sucked. That was a hard time. And so yeah, the getting injured and then how do you take care of your farm chores is also another thing that I got to really work through. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ravishing Rick Rude. I don't know if I like Ravishing Rick Rude enough. I would go Roddy Piper for sure before I'd go Ravishing Rick Rude for a bull name. But that is a good name for a bull, objectively speaking. Oh, Karen, yes. I'm going to write that down because I actually have to go into my merch system later this week. I will, just because you asked very nicely, Karen, and I really appreciate you. I'm going to make a sweatshirt print of the ecosystem design. Yes, I 100% can do that for you, Karen. It'll probably be, I bet you if you like check back there by Monday, that'll be when it gets available. I have a sweatshirt that I really like now. It's this, so it's the one that like I said earlier, like I have this Pigfoot sweatshirt I wear constantly. It's the same like material and make, and so I can just take the ecosystem design and put it on that same thing. So yes. Yeah, Run Rabbit Run. I really do like AJJ. I don't know, people call him the grandpa. Really, in my opinion, the Violent Femmes are like the true like foundational grandpas of folk punk. But yeah, I do I lo- I love Fugazi. Yeah, 100%. Oh, I love Mark. I love Apes of the State. April, right? Like she is so wicked talented. Um, yeah, I really like Apes of the State a lot. I've seen Iron Maiden. I think probably I've seen Iron Maiden live like 4 times. I like them a lot. I wouldn't put them even in my top 20, but I do like them. All right, Matt's a third wave. Yeah, I guess technically I'd be a third wave or two because you have first wave, which is like your original punk bands. But then I think technically everybody considers Dead Kennedy's second wave. And then, yeah, like, you know, when I think about like the bands that were current, like No Effects, right? Or you know, like all the Lookout Records bands and like all of that sort of stuff. That's all considered third wave, which I would say is like my true like current era. Yeah. Bean is actually really good. She's chilling. She's her weird blind self. She walks into walls, but she knows how to find her food and water. I think she does best this time of year when everybody's in the hoop coop, because she like doesn't even have to go anywhere. She just kind of does her thing. All right, I'm hearing yes on milkweed. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna do it as an experiment. I will pick and dry some milkweed. Doesn't need. I'm actually gonna do. Rick is right, I think, about this. I'm gonna do some more research on it, but I will probably do, because I have so many milkweed. Like there's just so much milkweed on our farm, and so I could easily sell that. Did I go to Black Bear Hartford 2008 to 2010? If so, did you band Zoom? I mean, I definitely have gone to the Black Bear like late 2000s. I there's no question about it. I can actually think of some very specific nights there. So the answer is yes. The band Zoom. I'm not familiar with them. So I don't know. I have two drones that I use, Joe. I have the Mavic Air 2, and then I have the Avata 2. They're both DJI drones. I'm a big DJI guy. And those are the two that I have. Probably the more cinematic shots, if you like those specifically, those are with the Air 2. The sort of more like POV, like I'm like flying like a bird type shots, those are with the Avata. Not anytime soon. I don't have any plans anytime soon. It's here's the heresy. I mean, I guess I'm a New Englander, so maybe that's part of it too, because like there's never been any rumors of Bigfoot in New England, and so I don't know, pics or didn't happen, I guess. Yeah, I know that, Danny, what you're saying is exactly why I kind of stopped myself from fully locking in on this. I'm going to do some research about the milkweed thing. Let's see what we can pull together. He's not. I mean, Toby has always been a certified good boy. There's like no question about that. In terms of being a certified, registered Maremma sheepdog, we're in the final stages of his paperwork. Yeah, I actually have a Pigfoot water bottle too. I'm a big fan of it as well. So I'm glad to hear you like yours, Liz. Oh yeah, actually, I mean, I would actually totally be up for that. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Diane. I'm actually curious. Like, I've actually had a couple of viewers comment about it. Like, I saw Alfred on the news. I know, and it's like, yeah. Actually, here's something you might not have noticed when he was on the news. Did you notice what was behind him? Oh, Ang, thank you for following me over on Blue Sky. I really appreciate it. Yeah, guys, like that is kind of like, if you want the place to like really kind of informally hang out, that's one of the better spots. Oh, thank you, Pirate Jenish. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, MIDI tracks, that's kind of, or I'm sorry. Yeah, it is MIDI tracks. Sorry. Yeah, that is kind of my philosophy too. Like, and I will admit, I could actually see it being easier to do 3 videos in the summer. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The winter months are hard to make videos. And if you have any ideas, please throw them out here in this chat. But like, admittedly, like not a lot's happening this time of year. It's pretty chill. Like the next real big thing to happen will be goose eggs and tapping maple trees for maple syrup. Those will be the next like big new winter like activities that happen on the farm, and both of those are still probably almost a month away. But honestly, it is part of the struggle, mini tracks, of like just having stuff to talk about in the winter. So all right, guys, I can feel my voice about to go, and I got to shoot another video tomorrow. But yeah, I will be back really soon with another update. Thank you again for hanging out for our farm meeting. And thank you, Rebecca, for hanging out. And yeah, new video tomorrow. It'll be all about how much it costs to run the farm every single day. There will be an answer in that video. And I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.